Right, so here's the update for this current trading week. Um, Nothing much. I just want to give you guys a new view on the dollar because some people were a bit confused on the range I drew. Doesn't matter. Remove the range. The levels still remain the same. So let's explain this. We've taken out the liquidity resting here. We purged it, and that's caused the retracement up. I'm expecting this gap at 98.21 to fill, and we could sell off from there, but I do want us to hit this bearish order block before we continue to sell off to the downside. Why do I think this is going to head to the downside? Okay, so basically we've taken out a major liquidity pool right here, and we've broke structure also. Okay, so it's a break in market structure, and the trend is not confirmed yet. Okay, but I'm hoping for a failure swing to happen here. Okay, so this could retrace all the way up inside this range high to this range low. Okay, but we're expecting for a failure swing to perform. Okay, so I'm expecting a failure swing to perform there. All right, just because we had the break in structure. Okay, so taking out these lows, we can retrace now, finding some more liquidity, filling the gap. We could sell off from there, but I'm expecting a bearish order block to sell off. Okay, and that's your invalidation level. All right, if we go above here, then we're bullish. All right, I do want to mention that if we do gain this level of support, I'm pretty sure this is going to just continue the uptrend because long term dollar is pretty bullish, and this move right here could just be considered as a deviation of this range. Okay, so right, that's where I'm expecting the dollar to sell off. Where do I expect it to sell off to? Okay, so we've taken out these lows. Okay, I'm expecting all of these lows to be hunted, and ultimately filling this liquidity void right here, this gap at 96.59 to 96.39, and I'm expecting these lows right here to be hunted. So I'm expecting a raid like this to occur. Okay, so push up, then dump, and then maybe we'll see a continuation up in price. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the dollar. Moving on, we have the euro pound. So nothing much has changed. It's just been ranging, but it is Wednesday, and I'm expecting some low to form, before we see a retracement up, and we're gonna fill in these gaps right here. Okay, so if we can go into a lower time frame, we've just been ranging here, and I'm expecting some raid to happen today. We'll see what happens during London. I'm expecting a raid to happen down to here, and then we'll see retracement up into fill these gaps right here, and this daily gap right there. So I'm expecting the euro, the fiver, to be very bullish if this does happen. Okay, we're gonna see probably an explosion up in the euro USD. Okay, so that's what I have for the euro British pound, and as soon as we fill in that gap, we could retrace into there and sell off, or we can retrace into here and then sell off. As soon as we get a retracement, I'm expecting this liquidity pool right here to be hunted next. All right, that's your invalidation level. If we go above here, then the euro pound is probably going to be hella bullish again. All right, so what I got for the euro USD, I sort of got some bias, bullish bias for the fiver euro USD, just because we were slightly bullish well, I'm expecting slightly bullish prices for the euro pound, and if I expect bullishness in the euro pound, then I expect bullishness in the euro dollar. So what I think is going to happen is price needs to fill in this void, okay? And we do have very equal lows here, okay? So this is Monday's low. Also, I think this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this is last week's low, and this is Monday's low. So there's huge amounts of liquidity resting here. Okay, so I'm expecting low of the week to form here, fill in this gap, and then we'll see continuation up into this ghost block right here. Okay, so, and then we'll see a sell-off happen, but I'm expecting a raid of these lows on the daily chart. We'll get into the 4 hour later, but I'm expecting a raid of these lows, and then we'll see a continuation up to the upside. And these will be your targets, okay? These highs, and ultimately this ghost block right here. So let's go into a 4 hour. What do we see? Yeah, so very equal lows right here, okay? Last week's low, Monday's low, huge amounts of liquidity resting here, okay? I'm expecting some sort of raid, and then we'll see a continuation up to the upside. There is a gap right here. I want that gap to be filled. I forgot to explain that the liquidity resting here, or this liquidity here and liquidity here, it's very protected by this order block support resistance level. So what that is, it's basically this order block is now acting as very good support. Okay, so we had resistance, flipped it, support. Okay, so I'm expecting these lows to be protected. Alright, and we're gonna trade higher first. So that's what I got. That's kind of my bias for now. However, this could just trade to the upside without taking out these lows. Alright, because we did have a break in structure on the 4 hour. And let me check which low that comes into. So that low is 1.10730, and this is 1.10736. So it's a five pip raid. Very little. That could be the low of the week. That could be considered as a raid, even though it looks very clean. I don't know what it looks like on other brokers, but this did equate to be lower than that, so it could be a raid. And if that was a raid, then I'd expect price to hit this H4 order block, because we're already breaking structure here, before we see a continuation to the upside. Okay. Also to mention, it doesn't even have to hit that order block. We have this high, could even hit that high. All right, before we see a continuation to the upside. But I'll have my orders resting there. Okay, so I'll have some long orders here, and I'll stop here. Okay, targeting these highs, and ultimately the ghost block we have above. All right, if this does indeed if that doesn't hold, then I'm expecting price to trade all the way into here, and that would form the low of the week before we have a continuation to the upside. Okay, let's check what we have on the 1 hour. Yeah, I don't like these clean lows at all. If we could find out what was yesterday's low. Yesterday's lows comes at here. So I don't like this at all. Okay, for London we could have a raid above here, and then we can have we could trend down into this block, and then I'm expecting New York to probably push it up higher, or even come into this level and push it up higher. Alright, I don't know what to think about that, but I'll take my chances on this H4 order block. Okay, so that's what I've got for the euro dollar. Right, so cable. I'm expecting some sort of retracement to form. Let me mention first that the cable is looking very, very bullish. I'm really liking the market structure here, but we're definitely in need of some sort of pullback to find some more buy orders before we see another continuation up. Market structure is ultimately very bullish here. Okay, so we had a high, we did a low here that took out these stops, and then we've created a high, low, and we've broke that. So this is clearly in an uptrend. Okay, but you know, people keep chasing the price up. What this needs to do, it needs to find some more buy orders. Okay, they don't want to the big boy traders, they don't want to be buying price at an expensive point. Okay, so they're gonna try and get some cheaper prices here. So I'm expecting retracement here to form, and I'm expecting a short-term bounce to happen here, probably retracing up to that level before we continue and fill in these gaps and ultimately hitting this block right here. Okay, doesn't have to hit this block. We could see a retracement. We could see continuation up higher after we hit this level right here, but I would like to see this order block basically hit before we see continuation up. I forgot to mark out, but there is a breaker right there. So the up candle that took out the stops right here, we could trade higher from there. Okay, so that's the daily chart. Let's go in more intra-week, shall we? So I've marked out this this bearish order block that we rejected from, and it's looking pretty bearish here. So I do think the high of the week is in. Okay, and we can start pulling back and seeing a dump down lower to this level. Okay, so we've rated this high into a bearish order block. If you want to play it, or if you want to play it really safe, wait for a break in structure on the lower time frame. So let's see what we can find. So if you want to play it safe, wait for a break of this low, then short it, and you can have your stop here. If you want it super tight, I wouldn't advise that. I'd put my stop around here. Let me check that again. Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe putting my stop there because we could push up higher again and then break down to the downside. But we've already reacted from this bearish order block, so that would be a conservative stop. And if we go here, if we get the breakdown here, you could be pretty confident short here, place a stop there right above the order block, if you would like to. All right, we could have a push into this block. If you see this up candle before the downwards move, you could see a push up into that block before we see a continuation down. So that's what I have for the cable, and yeah, the targets are shown right here on the daily. Okay, so I'm expecting a short-term bounce to happen here. Whoops, the fuck. Expecting a short-term bounce to happen there, but ultimately filling these gaps right there, and then possibly a bounce right there. Okay, so that's what I got for the cable. Alright, so UCAD. I'm expecting UCAD to be pretty bullish here. Alright, took a while. Looks like they've been accumulating some long positions here, and we've had some sort of manipulation already. Okay, so I'm expecting retracement up finally for UCAD. Now, how can we play this? So basically, I see a daily order block has been formed. So if you see this level marked out here, okay, that's our daily order block formed. I'm expecting some pullback during London for the lower of the day to form, and then we'll push up into, that's our objective, daily gap. That's the first target. You could hold it all the way up into here though, and take some profits along the way, of course. So let's see some more levels on the lower time frame. Okay, remember this order block. Okay, remember this blue line right here. Okay, so very nice confluence with a H4 breaker. All right, so this was the last high that took out this low, these lows right here. So that's a nice grade, and then we saw a break in structure, very beautiful. So I'm expecting retracement into this breaker, which is also the open of that daily order block, and then we'll see a continuation to the upside. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna play UCAD. I'm gonna have some longs open here, and my stop just resting there, targeting mainly the daily gap here. Okay, so of course you should always be taking profit along the way. Very clear areas to take profit. So we got some equal highs right there. What else do we have? We have some equal highs right here as well, right at this daily gap. Okay, so take profits 1, 2, 3. That's an order block 2. You should be good. So we could have a retracement from there, but ultimately, if you want to hold this, you can hold it all the way into target 3. Okay, so I'm going long here, stop here. I'm mostly just gonna close here, or I'll see how the day closes. I'll just leave some running on, ultimately. Okay, but I do think we could retrace pretty harsh for UCAD. And once again, that's my long, and there's my stop. Okay. And here we have AJ. So this was my previous analysis for AJ. Looks like I've already been stopped out, but doesn't matter. Let me give you an update real quick. So let me quickly remove all this mumbo jumbo. Okay, so looks like we found support at this daily swing high. Okay, and then we've seen a break in structure again. So I'm pretty sure this is going to trade higher. We could see a pullback into this range high, back into this order block right here. Okay, so I mean it's already tested it. So we could have one more test, and then we can see continuation up to the upside for AJ. So what would be the targets? I would say you could target all these highs right here. Okay, what does this look like on the daily? On the daily, yeah, I don't even want to say that's a ghost block. I think we could just, that's a daily order block formed already. We could pull back into here, and then we'll see a trade higher right there, taking out those buy stops. Okay, so that's what I have for AJ. If this did stay back into the range, then these will be your targets. But it looks like we're not, because the daily has been closing pretty bullish lately. Okay, and I do think that the low is in. So if we just study market structure here, we have low, high, high, low. That's a high high. We could see that push up all the way into there before we see a further retracement down. Right, so that's what I have at AJ. Anyways, that's all the pairs I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, make sure to tag me in the chat. I'll be glad to answer them. And yeah, make sure to check out my Twitter, because I do want to be fairly active on Twitter. I want to start building my Twitter brand so I can reach out to more people. And yeah, that's been all of it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone that might find this very helpful. Alright?